freedom, a word that tastes sweet in the mouth but stings in the soul. We chant it, we crave it. But what if everything we believed about freedom is incomplete? From childhood, we're told that freedom means having choices, deciding your path, your job, your partner, your lifestyle. But this version of freedom feels curated, sanitized, even sold to us. Because here's the truth nobody wants to admit. True freedom has never been peaceful. Think about it. Where in history has any form of deep, transformative freedom arrived quietly? Did revolutions whisper? Did tyrants hand over power with a smile? Or has freedom always clawed its way into the world through conflict, through fire, through sacrifice? The unsettling reality is this: freedom is not gifted, it's demanded. And demand often invites resistance. And resistance? Well, resistance doesn't come with flowers. It comes with fire. So before we go any further, let's ask ourselves the question most are too afraid to consider. If you truly want to be free, are you ready to lose your peace to get there? Because this isn't just about politics. This is about your life, your mind, your choices. Freedom isn't just a slogan, it's a test, and very few pass it without scars. Freedom doesn't arrive gently, it kicks down doors, it burns down thrones. Every revolution, every uprising, whether it's the storming of the Bastille or the fall of apartheid, has come with a price. And that price is almost always paid in blood. The American Revolution was drenched in violence. The French Revolution turned the streets red. The fall of monarchies, the collapse of empires, the birth of republics, all echoed with the same brutal rhythm. Why? Because freedom, by its nature, threatens the status quo. It challenges power, and power never goes quietly. When one group demands freedom, another feels it slipping away. That's when the claws come out. That's when liberty is met with batons, bullets, and bombs. Even on the personal level, it's no different. The moment you try to break free from toxic systems, relationships, or beliefs, you encounter resistance. Internal, external, subtle, violent. So let's stop pretending freedom is polite. It's not a handshake. It's a scream. It's a shattering. And the question is, are we romanticizing freedom while ignoring the violence that makes it possible? To understand the real nature of freedom, we have to walk through the smoke of history, eyes open, hands steady, and hearts ready to confront the chaos that built the world we take for granted. Because history doesn't speak in silence, it whispers in blood. We often see freedom as a reward, but Carl Jung and Erich Fromm saw it as a crisis. Why? Because with freedom comes weight. The weight of choice. The weight of responsibility. And for many, that weight becomes unbearable. Fromm called it the escape from freedom. He believed that once people are given full freedom, they often retreat into submission, into systems, ideologies, or leaders, because it's easier than facing the terror of choosing alone. Jung took it deeper. He said that true freedom means confronting the shadow, the dark, denied parts of ourselves, and most people would rather stay caged than face their own darkness. This is why freedom doesn't just start revolutions on the outside, it sparks revolutions inside. Because to be free, truly free, you must be willing to break the illusion of control, own your contradictions, stand alone without losing your soul. And that, my friend, is not easy. That's not glamorous. That's not viral. It's terrifying. It's lonely. But it's real. So next time you scream for freedom, ask yourself, am I strong enough to carry it? Or am I secretly begging someone to carry it for me? Because freedom isn't always denied. Sometimes it's abandoned. In a world where freedom is earned through fire, the Stoics offer a strange contradiction: calm. While the world burns, Marcus Aurelius sits alone, writing in his journal, not screaming at the skies. Because for the Stoics, the battlefield isn't outside, it's within. They knew the truth. You can't control tyrants, chaos, or revolutions, but you can control your own response. Stoicism doesn't make freedom easier, it makes it meaningful, because without inner control, outer freedom becomes hollow. Without clarity, you simply replace one master with another, maybe louder, maybe more seductive, but still a master. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet never believed he ruled himself fully. That's the paradox. The more power you seek outside, the more peace you lose inside. So what did the Stoics do in violent times? They practiced silence. They practiced restraint. They practiced death mentally, so life couldn't threaten them anymore. True strength, they believed, isn't in overthrowing others. It's in refusing to be overthrown by your own rage. So maybe the Stoics weren't weak or passive. Maybe they were the only ones strong enough to remain still while the world screamed. Because if freedom is worth anything, it must include the freedom to stay calm in the storm. What if the freedom you've been chasing isn't freedom at all? Nietzsche believed that most people don't want real freedom. They want comfortable chains. They want the illusion of choice, not the terror of true autonomy. In a world flooded with opinions, lifestyles, and identities, we're told we can be anything. But this buffet of options often leads to paralysis, not empowerment, and behind the mask of freedom hides a subtle form of slavery. To Nietzsche, freedom isn't about having no master, it's about choosing your master consciously or becoming your own. But here's the problem. Becoming your own master requires courage, confrontation, and creation. And most people would rather consume than create. They trade their power for comfort, their voice for approval, their will for popularity. So what we call freedom might actually be a refined form of control, more palatable, more seductive, more hidden. Think about it. Who benefits from your distraction? Who profits when you chase surface-level choices and never question their roots? This isn't a conspiracy. It's psychology. And the scariest kind of prison is the one that looks like a playground. So ask yourself, are you truly free or just well managed? So we've asked the hard questions. We've seen that freedom is messy, loud, violent, and yet sacred. But now we face the final one. Is it worth it? Because here's the paradox. Everyone wants to be free until freedom asks them to bleed, until it demands they let go of comfort, approval, safety. And yet, history whispers and psychology screams, freedom is never cheap. It comes with confusion, with chaos, with consequences. The Stoics tell us to endure. Nietzsche tells us to rise. Jung tells us to go within. And all of them agree. Freedom is earned, not granted. So what do we do now? We choose. We choose whether to stay in the illusion of safety or step into the storm of self-responsibility. We choose whether to obey our fears or challenge them. We choose whether to live as managed creatures or as sovereign souls. And the truth? Most will never choose. Most will wait for permission. Most will decorate their cages and call it peace. But a few, just a few, will face the cost. They'll walk into fire, not for destruction, but for transformation. Because freedom is not just about breaking chains. It's about forging meaning in the ashes. So now I ask you, what are you willing to burn to become truly free?